Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Jasmine Figures It Out. I apologize, I have not been uploading. I've been really busy, but I have so many things I want to update you guys on. And I have been recording some videos of me decorating my house, like learning how to clean it, and all these things that I'm learning and figuring out that I do want to share. But today, this has been tugging on me for a couple of days, and I think I'm actually wanting to record this in a more compelled or more motivated to do this video, just because it might just be helping me with my own process of grieving. But I am here today to talk about me figuring out how to grieve and let go of uh, my longest adult friendship. So that's what I'm in here to chat about today. So I'll just jump right into it. I have a friend. It's like a friend from college. It's 20 plus years of friendship. And I did not make a lot of healthy friendships in college because I struggled with alcoholism and unresolved trauma that I've been resolving in my later years. That's just the honest truth. So the couple of friends that I had from college, um, I just really wanted to hang on to those friendships because in a way it just made me feel like, okay, there's something about me that can have a friend that's not broken. I can keep a friend for a long time. So I had one left. One left. And but it wasn't a healthy friendship. And it's and this person, they've blocked me. I don't quite understand why, but I'm going to get into that. um and so I'm letting them go. I'm not going to do the chase down, send you presents, beg for you to keep being my friend thing that I've done with this person in the past, because I've so desperately wanted to hang on to this friendship and prove to this person that I am a good friend. So, and I'm gonna try not to get too much into specifics, but I also am not gonna hesitate to be specific where I need to be, just because people watching this may need specifics to understand, especially if this is going to help someone who's going through the same thing. But I don't really want to be too specific, um, just to respect that person. But I also want to, for people to understand exactly the nature of this, if that makes sense. But so I've gone through a transformation in my life in the last couple of years. I stopped drinking. I have 2 years sober, and I've really been working on some trauma and therapy, and I've been really um, getting reconnected with my faith. And that has opened up a world of new relationships and friendships to me that have that give me a comparison of healthy friendship versus unhealthy friendship slash relationship. So, you know that song No New Friends? Some of us need all new friends. Like, because to be honest, when you're forming relationships with people, when you're unhealthy, you're probably forming trauma bond relationships, toxic, unhealthy type of relationships. And if as you grow, if both people are on a growth and that translates with each other well, you may be able to hold on to those friendships, but it's not always possible. In my reflection of my case with this person, it's not that I don't think she's growing, that she's working on her trauma and she's not healing and she's not evolving. I can see that she's growing and she's working and she's searching and she's reflecting and she's uncovering and discovering and discarding. I can see that she's doing the work, the same type of work I'm doing, but in a way that works is helping her. So I don't want to discount that. But sometimes, and this is just what I've come to in my reflection of this whole friendship, is that sometimes you can have two people that are doing work, but because they could still be so stuck in the dynamic of your friendship or their view of you, who you are, that they can still be growing, but they can't see you. They don't see your growth. They don't, or they may even be able to acknowledge that you're working and growing, but in some way, they still don't really see you. So, you still get treated in a pattern or in a way that you wouldn't accept in other friendships. You wouldn't accept being treated this way with the new friends you have. When you see those things happening, or you're making a new friend and your friend is like, you're the new person you're getting to know is aggressive, compares, shows signs of jealousy, likes to put you down in little sly ways. When you see those things starting to pop up, you say, "No, I'm not going to go there. This person is not going to get that close to me." But with this older friend, because you're trying to hang on to the history of the relationship, those things happen and you let it ride. But that person can see your growth, but they can't see you, and they continue to do things that they just can't break through those toxic patterns in relation to you. And why I bring that up is because I've been kind of observing these things for a while now, but saying, no, it must be me, because I see her growth and I see her have what appears to me to be healthy friendships with other people. But I wasn't looking at it in the way of, well, she doesn't have that pattern of a toxic relational exchange with those other people. So the new people in her life, she probably may be able to treat decently and have a healthy friendship, but not with me, because she's just so used to treating me the way she's treated me since I was 18, 19, or whatever. We had the unhealthy dynamic we've had in our friendship this whole long time. So that could be a thing. And then another thing is, so I think sometimes when you're trying to hold on to the idea of something, it's easier to ignore, or not easier, but when you're holding on to the idea of a relationship, you do just let things go that you wouldn't typically let go because of the idea. I need to have this 20-year friendship that continues to go on, because I need to be able to say, I have a friend that I've had for 20 years. Because it is something that I feel like people judge. Like, I know when I meet people and I'm like assessing if there's somebody who I can get close to, and I notice that they don't have friendships that are long standing, then that could be a red flag for me. And I don't want to give that red flag. So I'm trying to hang on to this friendship, and it's really not healthy. But if I really take a look at, what's gone on in my life, I can see where, yeah, it makes total sense that I don't really have these long standing friendships. If I've been unhealthy for a large portion of my adult life, but that doesn't have any real bearings on who I am today and who I've been working to be for the last 2 years, and who I've consistently shown up as in the last 2 years. And I know I'm very confident that I'm a good friend, that I can be a good friend, that I can have good friendships, because I have experienced like losing a lot of friends during this transition that I've been going through in my life. And when I lost these friends, um, and I got through the grieving process, I actually felt better and lighter. And I made room for healthier friendships. And this is what's helping me finally get to the place where I can let this friendship go, because I have friends now that I've had for a couple years that have really been good friends to me, supportive. I feel valued in the friendship. I feel seen for who I am. I have friends who I can be honest with, and they can be honest with me. It's not just a one way honesty where they can tell me all the stuff that they think I'm doing wrong in my life. But if I point out one thing that I'm concerned about, or just lovingly want to like give some honest feedback, I get talked to like I'm stupid and how dare I. No, it's a two-way thing. Like, we value each other's discernment and wisdom and life experience and opinion, and even if it doesn't fit, it's not going to be tossed out with disrespect or arrogance. And so I have those type of friendship where I really feel like I'm sitting here on equal ground with the women in my life. So coming to this place where I'm realizing this friendship with my longest standing friend from college is coming to is closed. It's closed. Um, I'm okay to let it go. I'm okay to say I love this person. I'm going to continue to keep them in my prayers and hope the best for them. But I know that them not holding that space in my life anymore is going to open up more space for me to be able to enter into another relationship or friendship with someone that's going to be healthy. I know that will happen because it's happened in the past. And obviously, like, I was not planning on discontinuing a friendship with this person. A lot has happened. Like, I was planning on just giving them space and setting healthy boundaries, because I've gotten to the place where there's ways that I've been treated that I can't put up with anymore. And but they cut me off, which is not the first time. She's done this to me so many times. It's like a control tactic that she has that I've just kind of accepted, but I'm not going to do that anymore. um this is not somebody that I have ever been able to have a difficult conversation with when it comes to the nature of our friendship, the way she treats me, if I've done something wrong, or, where it's just an honest conversation, like, why did I get cut off last time? Like, what exactly happened? Where did I hurt you? What? Those conversations don't happen with this person. So, like, conflict resolve within our friendship doesn't happen. It's kind of just like I would get put on ice, and then whenever she feels like coming back around, it's like nothing ever happened. That's just how it goes. And I've decided that I'm not going to put up with those kinds of unhealthy communication styles with men that have done that to me, because my ex is a narcissist. But and I'm not calling her a narcissist, but we all have narcissistic behaviors, some higher than others. But if I'm not going to do that with a guy I'm dating, I'm not going to do that anymore with a friendship, just like a platonic friendship. Why would I continue to do that? Um, but and I honestly have no idea. I just realized she blocked me on social media. So and I can't think of anything I did, but I wouldn't even know, because we don't talk about she won't she we never have those conversations when something's wrong. It's never like, it never feels like, obviously I know this person cares about me and I care about her, so if something, a boundary was violated or something went wrong, we're going to have a conversation and resolve it, because I know they don't do things intentionally to hurt me. It's not like that. It's like, you're either the enemy or you're my friend today. And so, yeah, I'm really tired of that. And then the comparisons, like, little, like, I came to her to tell her about a mistake I made financially, and she says to me, I make way more money than you, and I would never do that. So that this would be the typical type of conversation with this person, and it's exhausting. And I'm like, and when I really think about it, I'm like, you have no idea how much money I actually bring in. So, and I have no idea how much money you bring in. So how, like, I have to sit and think about these things and be like, yeah, um, you don't really know. So, but it's that constant. I have to find little ways to put myself above you. Arrogance, pride, ego, just always present in the friendship, and it's just really hard. And I've excused a lot of it because I know her history and some of her trauma, and I know she's working through things, and I know how hard that is to break through these patterns, especially relationally with people, when you've built up these behaviors to protect yourself from being hurt, and that's really all you're really trying to do. And I've done that for myself, is really have to try to like get rid of some of these things, these really damaging, harmful ways that I've interacted with people in the past, because I was really protecting myself. But it's harmful and hurtful to the people I'm dealing with relationally. And I know how hard it is to break those patterns and how easy it is to just fall right back into them. But and so that's why I've excused a lot of the behavior. But now I'm just at this place where, because I've experienced healed, healthy people, I want more of that and less of the exhausting, draining friendships. And this is a friend that I probably would have chosen to continue to work on this friendship, but they have chosen to block me out of their life, and um, and I'm just gonna let it go, because I'm not chasing after unhealthy relationships anymore. And just to give you some context, this happened last year. She just recently had a birthday. I didn't tell her happy birthday because of some other stuff that was going on, and I was giving her space because she literally told me I'm getting on her nerves, and she knows I'm trying to protect her and be helpful, but she knows way more than me, and just to kick rocks for a little while. So I'm just okay. She's also was like going through a transition where I realized that could have had something to do with the way she was reacting to certain things. So I was just kind of giving it time. But so I didn't reach out to her for her birthday. Also because I'm tired of rewarding bad behavior. If you treat me poorly, I'm not gonna turn around and like give you roses for that. Like, I'm just tired. But last year was the same thing. I accidentally forgot her birthday, and she stopped talking to me and blocked me on everything. And so I sent her a gift in the mail and apologized for forgetting her birthday. And then I all of a sudden got unblocked because I was, I guess, did, made up for it. So I'm like, that's been the pattern. Like, it's like a very controlling friendship where I get punished and rewarded. And yo, who doing that in your mid 40s? Like, I'm done. Um, but another thing where I have to really just take a look at my part and everything, I'm terrible at conflict myself, and I'm terrible at setting healthy boundaries. So something that I will do is I'll just continue to be treated a way that I am not okay with, and I'll let it go or laugh it off. And then slowly like just build up resentment against that person and become resentful and not talk about it, but be just resentful. And then I'm the good one, they're the bad one because they're the one treating me bad. But I also never set boundaries or talked up for myself. And so that's my pattern with this person. So I have to take responsibility for how I show up too, because if I don't do that, I don't learn. So with my other friends, my newer friends that I have, I've been able to set boundaries. I've been able to speak up when I feel like something wasn't said correctly or done in a way that I appreciate being treated. I've been able to do those things and have conversations. I've had conflict with my current friends, my healthy friends. I've had conflict. We've had those hard conversations and conflict, and they've shown me that conflict is not bad. It can be healthy. I've had healthy conflict, and my friendships are thriving. And so that's where, but then there's another really key element here, is that I feel safe in those friendships to do that. I feel safe to set boundaries with healthy people, because when you set boundaries with healthy people, it's appreciated, because those people understand that you're setting a boundary to preserve the relationship, and they appreciate you letting them know your boundaries so that they don't cross them. That's what healthy people do. But when you set boundaries with unhealthy people, or you start to let unhealthy people know how not to treat you, um it's not a safe thing to do. You get punished for that. And so that's another thing. I can't continue to hold myself responsible for not feeling safe because of the way I'm treated to set boundaries and have tough conversations. So that's where I've been wrestling with this for so long, and I'm like, yeah, it's one I have to be okay to let go. I'm not gonna do the cat mouse game again and open this door back up, because I want to give myself opportunity and space to continue to make healthy, to form healthy friendships and relationships. But I also don't look at everything as a black and white situation anymore. If this person somehow, like, in the future comes around and has displayed some change, then there's possibilities that this friendship could, pick up in the future. But it's definitely going to be one of those things where there are those boundaries set. I mean, I definitely deserve to be seen in my relationships and respected and valued. And and everyone deserves that. If you have friends that you feel like are not seeing you for who you are today, not respecting you, not valuing you, that's not a friendship. Friendships are two ways. They value you, you value them. There is no friendship where one person is the savior with all the knowledge, information, and all the light, and the other person is just some doormat or accessory to that person. That's not healthy. And that's how I felt in that friendship. And so I'm sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm just thinking about the financial comment, because I'm like, yeah, you definitely don't really see me if you, yeah, okay. But so yeah, so that's why and you guys are probably like, well, what happened? Why this person? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to get too personal about the exact circumstance, but I've reflected back on it a lot, and I know I didn't do anything terribly wrong. I showed concern for this person and their behavior, and I knew because of something that they were going through in their life, chemically something could be off, and I didn't want them to cause any damage to themselves long term. And I said something to her like, maybe something's going on here, and that's causing you to have these type of behaviors, and you should just look at that and stop. And then I got pretty much told off by her for saying that. And I know that I'm not the only person that's being treated this way. So, okay. And that's validating as well. Is sometimes it helps to know, because, and I don't want to go too far into this because I'm already at 25 minutes. I'm trying not to be so long winded, but here's another place where I struggle because of my history of toxic relationships and friendships, and specifically toxic ex-husband, um, narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. I've been gaslit so frequently that I doubt myself. So I will question myself over and over and over, even if something feels wrong, looks wrong, all the evidence is there. I will find a way to say, no, it's got to be me somehow. It's me, it's not them. It's always me, not them. So, so for me, it's helpful for me to really be like firm in, yeah, I know, and I'm 100% sure that I didn't do anything wrong, is when someone else is also experiencing the exact same thing from this person. And the person who's also experiencing it is a very highly respectable, mature, healthy person. So that's what's been helpful to me. But also, I did want to make the point going forward is that how important it is as you're on your health journey to trust yourself, because nobody else really, if you think about it, nobody really, nobody, literally, nobody can be, and nobody is the gauge for what is okay with you but you. You get me? So when you think about it that way, you can't be wrong. You can't gaslight yourself. You can't be gaslit by someone else. You are the only person who can determine what is okay with you and how you want to be handled and treated and how you want to be loved. So when you have that icky feeling inside that says, this does not feel like a person who's handling me with care, you can listen to that feeling. And I know that sometimes even that's hard to do because you also are healing and know that you may be struggling with rejection. So everything feels like rejection to you, or everything feels like offense because you struggle with offense because of your trauma. So you second guess, like, is this person really trying to hurt me? Or am I just feeling rejected and I'm taking it as an offense and it's not? Well, in those cases, if that's not someone who you feel like you can talk to, you can have a conversation, if it's not safe for you to say, hey, I may have misunderstood this comment you made, and I want to talk about it, because it kind of hurt me a little bit, and I just want to make sure that we're on the same page as far as like how we speak to each other or whatever. um, if you don't feel safe to do that with someone, then that's also a sign. If you can't help someone understand how to communicate with you in a way that that feels safe for you, then that might not be a safe relationship. Yes, you could be oversensitive and at times. I am. I'm overly sensitive, and I have friends who are sensitive about certain areas. But guess what? They love me and they know I'm working on these things. And when I bring up like, you may not have meant to hurt me when you said this, but this is how it felt for me. And they love me enough to meet me where I'm at. And that's not like a bad thing. And it sounds like you may listen to this like, oh man, you take a lot of work to be friends with. No, it's not really a lot of work when you care about somebody. And it's not like always, um, oh, don't ask me if I want to go to the mall like this. You must ask me like this. No, it's not that. And sometimes I do have to say, um, when I have like discussions with people, yeah, I'm being sensitive, or yeah, I need to grow in this area. And and they can say to me like, yeah, girl, um, definitely got to work on that. And I can also take that too. So it's like a two-way street. I could come to my friend and say, I may have interpreted this wrong. And they could be like, yeah, you totally interpreted that wrong. Like, girl, you gotta fix that because I'm not gonna change my personality. And I have to be like, okay, yeah, you're right. I gotta work on that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's safe. That's the whole point I'm trying to say. It's safe. Friendships and relationships are supposed to be safe places to relate and even um, grounds to have that opportunity for emotional and relational growth. If you can't grow with a friend, honestly because you're afraid that being honest about things that are happening in your friendship are going to bring on punishment, that's not a real friendship. Because guess what? Nobody's perfect. Everybody's carrying around some form of trauma, some form of offense sensitivity, some form of rejection sensitivity. We all got it. We all got it. And it shows up in very, um, like, very, it shows up in very unsuspected ways in our relationships, but that's not the same thing as continually being put down by someone, continually being made to feel like you're less than by someone, continually allowing someone to make you feel like you're the least priority in their life, like you're a little flea that they could flick off of them at any time and then pick you back up when they feel like it. Like those are childish ways to relate to people. And you don't have to sit in those friendships anymore. No longer, no matter how long you've been friends with someone, it's not worth it, because what happens when you do that is you just cut yourself off from being able to form healthier relationships. And when you take that type of abuse from someone consistently, you're not going to show up healthy for your other friends. You're not. Because one of my other friendships who is healthy made one comment that I didn't like, but I put so much weight on it because I was really thinking that that person was this person when it's not. It was a little slip of the tongue that didn't really mean anything in the scope of who this person really is in my life. But when you're holding on to something like this over here that's very unhealthy, little things that are happening in like with regular relationships with human beings who make mistakes become bigger, and you respond to those differently because it's hard to separate those things when you're trying to navigate, when you're bouncing around with an unhealthy person and trying to be healthy. At some point you have to be okay with just letting that stuff go so that you can have a full healthy relationship. But you also, I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm like, wait, but. Yeah, this stuff is intense. It's so intense. I've learned so much. But also, learning how to let people be who they are and you stay who you are. That's a big one for me. And that's what I'm trying to do, because not everyone in your life is going to be healthy. And that's why setting boundaries and knowing who you are and maintaining your agency is so important. So, just to kind of put a closing bow on it, that's why I said in the beginning, I would have continued to be this person's friend and just really had to work on forming better boundaries and protecting myself better in the future. But they decided to close me out of their life, and I'm going to let them. Excuse me. And I'm going to let them. Excuse me, I'm going to pause it because I got to cough again. Sorry about that. So that's where I am not doing the dance anymore, is when someone unhealthy who's already treating me poorly and unhealthily is choosing now that they're gonna close the door, then yeah, I'm gonna let that happen, and I'm not gonna like try to force this reconciliation, and I'm not gonna try to force something that's obviously not working for them anymore, and it's not working for me. So I'm learning how to let people walk out of my life and accept that sometimes when that's happening is because God wants something more for me. God wants healthier friendships. God wants to clear the space, that emotional space that's being held in my life by this person. God wants that to be let free, that space and that energy, so that I can have room for someone who's healthier. So even though I am grieving and I'm going to miss them, because obviously I was friends with them so long, I know I talked a lot about the bad, but there's so much good in that friendship that I just love about her. Like, adore. And so I'm sad about it, but I'm going to grieve and let it go, because I know I have seen it happen in my life already, where a relationship ended, a friendship closed, and my next friendships or relationships after that were healthy and better. So that person removing themselves from me is really giving me space to have something healthier come into my life. And that's what I'm really grateful for. And that's what I'm going to focus on. And I'm believing for like really good, healthy friendships and relationships. I keep saying relationship because I'm single, and I think it's time for me to have a relationship. But I needed space. Even a friendship can prevent healthy space for a relationship. So yeah, so that's how I'm learning to let people go. And I'm sorry this got long, but um I hope it helps somebody who's going through something similar. Friendship breakups are so freaking hard. I feel like they're harder than relationship breakups. So hard. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me. And I will be posting videos and a little bit in the coming days about the updates in my house. I'm so excited about one room that I'm starting to have like almost finished, and it's so cute. And so I'll be posting those videos. And I gotta tell you about I'm just gonna say an incident with my Roomba and my dog's diarrhea, and what I learned from that. And that is gonna be hilarious because it's a funny story. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.